fly is a lifestyle. It's much more than the way you dress or the way you present yourself. It's a mindset, forever loving yourself.
Hey, Santiago. Peace, brother.
Peace to you. Give me some love, my brother.
It's been a long time coming, man.
How many years it's been, brother?
20 plus.
Man.
20 plus.
To be exact.
Yeah.
Like 24 years.
Yeah,
Peace,
absolutely.
God.
Yeah, we're about to dive into this thing, you know.
Yes, let's get into it.
Designer, influencer, you know what I mean?
Yes,
across the nation, touching hands with many affluent people and people that's important and people that's, you know, have influence as well. So let's get started with your story, man. Let's, you know, the story of where did Tay Santiago come from, you know?
Tay Santiago came from, a lot of people ask me that, my brother. Tay Santiago came from, it came from a good friend of mine. When I was incarcerated in the federal penitentiary, I was shipped out to California for disciplinary. I was in Ohio, and I ended up getting in trouble when they shipped me out to Cali. And when I went out there, it was like a deportee prison.
Okay.
You know, a bunch of people from Mexico and, you know, just different people. And it was a lot of racial tension out there in California. So I end up befriending one of the Mexicans. He took a liking to me, you know what I mean? And actually, I end up saving him out of a situation, and you know what I mean. And for some reason, all the Mexicans and the Dominicans, like, they just took a liking to me, and you know, start calling me Santiago.
Absolutely.
And then when I got closer to the Mexican, you know what I mean.
Right.
He started like filling me in on, you know what I mean, different things like spirituality, and you know, filling me in on what Santiago mean, and he was always telling me like, man, you are a leader. Like, you know, you got certain qualities, and you know how to, you know, navigate situations. And he was like, man, your name's you Santiago, you one of us. And we used to always laugh about it. But to speed the story up, he ended up going home in 2012. Yeah, because I came home 2013. He came home 2012, and he ended up getting murdered.
Oh,
you know what I mean? But when he came home before me in that year, he always kept in touch with me. And that was big for me.
That's
for out there, you know, with all the racial tension, and you know, so he took a liking to me, and you know, he seen that, and I just ran with it. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I am Santiago, the leader.
Ain't no doubt.
Yeah, yes sir, my brother.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yes sir.
But I mean, going back, you know, to like where you from, being in the Mitten, a lot of people only know about Detroit, of course, and you know, of course that's my hometown, but with all due respect, you know, I reside in the Flower.
Much respect.
Absolutely.
Much respect, yeah.
But let the world know where you from, man.
I'm from Saginaw. I'm from Saginaw, Michigan. I was born in 1980. For the most part, we just like any other urban city in America. You know, it's treacherous. You know, it's you know, a lot of violence, you know what I mean? Not too many opportunities, you know what I mean? But just like a lot of urban cities in America, it is what you make it. It's the love that we feed off of, and you know, the family structure and the principles that we come up on, and you know, but for the most part, it's, you know,
absolutely.
it's that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's where I'm from.
Nasty.
Yeah, that's where I'm from. No doubt. Saginaw, yeah.
So, being that you from the side.
People in my town, they hate that. Yeah, they hate that.
Wow.
Nasty, they hate that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Dig that.
No doubt, yeah.
Oh, that's a real joint.
That's a prison, yeah. And it's multi-layers to, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's multi-layers to it.
Speaking of the joint, I met you at a time in my life where I was finding myself. I came through the system at a young age, tender age of 15, and you were my bunkie. I think you was like my second bunkie, and it was just like a crazy camaraderie the way we jammed.
Was I your second celly, my brother?
Yep.
We became cellies by choice.
Yup. No. Yeah.
By choice.
We did. We picked.
You know, we had
a
you know what I mean, it was that
pick.
time.
Absolutely.
No, we had been building prior to.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how that happened. You know what I mean? Yeah. You was so inquisitive. You used to ask me so many questions about everything. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's how our relationship formed. And you know, when that 6 months rolled around and you had the option of, you know what I mean, we filled that thing out, and you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's how our relationship formed.
Man, it's crazy. Sometimes we, as people, we fail to recall, and as you saying it, I'm thinking back like, wow, we did make that choice.
We made a choice.
You know what I mean?
No doubt.
And even then, I saw something in you as far as your grind and you had a purpose. You always had a purpose to yourself, and I always thought that was very intriguing at an early age. Being you know, my forerunner by a couple of years, it was a big brother, little brother type camaraderie. So
in our adolescence, both being used,
rising above the snakes, the vultures, and everything that'll eat you whole in this culture.
Yeah, it's your girl, she know if you ain't know. Fly 17313-773. It ain't a number, but this a number one hit, you dig? Breath of the street, see creep, gotta be discreet. Oh, and one more thing, don't sleep. Cartier, Womack, Sir D. Oh, one more thing, you know she.
Brunch and mimosa, strapped with a toaster. Know that if you reach for my bread, then it's over. Cups on a coaster, Ferragamo loafers. Class for the culture, lawyers and brokers. Nowadays, stick to the fam, little close.
Yeah. So what exactly was it that took you to prison?
I went to prison. I ended up catching I caught a second-degree murder in 1995.
Right.
Long story short, you know, just growing up in certain conditions, misguided. My mother was in and out of prison, you know, throughout my upbringing and childhood. She had me when she was 15.
Oh, wow.
So my mother was a, you know, kid herself, giving birth to a kid, you know, trying to find her way. And, you know, she ended up meeting my father like at 14, you know, young 14-year-old trying to find her way. She ended up having me getting pregnant. He wasn't no good. He ended up turning her out. You know, one of them stories, you know what I mean? And she was a kid herself trying to find her way in life and bumping her head, you know, running up behind a nigga, you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
A woman is only as strong as the man that's beside her, teaching her and guiding her.
Heavy.
But my dad was only 16 himself, which was a kid. So, you know, one of them stories, and she really couldn't raise me. In and out the system, she getting in trouble, following his lead, catching cases, in and out of prison, and I end up being with my grandmother. My grandmother raised me from like 83 to probably like 86. My mother was in prison those years, so my grandmother was raising me. And whatever ended up happening between my grandmother and my mother in 83 and 86, they was having like misunderstandings while my mother was incarcerated. I didn't, you know, unbeknownst to me at the time, I was only 3, 4. But whatever came out of the misunderstanding, the CPS ended up coming to take me from my grandmother. You know what I mean? They put me in foster care like in 86. I was in foster care for like 2 months on Hospital Road in Saginaw. And my aunt ended up coming to get me. She ended up getting guardian parental custody of, and she ended up, and I was under her care from like 86 to, I was really under her care from 86 to 95 to when I called my case in 1995. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? Yeah, but in between that time, it was just, you know, me growing up without a father, you know, mother in and out the system, you know what I mean? My Aunt Patricia, she loved me so much, bless her heart, she came and got me out them people's hands, you know what I mean? But she could only do so much.
Absolutely.
She had like 7 or 8 kids herself. We was all in a home, you know what I mean? And you know, us as young men, we tend to embrace and gravitate to our environment, the things that we see, the things that we exposed to. And for me, shit, not having a father, that was my uncle and my cousins, you know, they was hustlers, pushers, you know, pushing businesses, and you know what I mean? Like my Uncle Isaac, he was like, you know, that's what we come up under, you know what I mean? So that was my learning tool in regards to what a male figure, should. So just growing up, idolizing that, and starting early, jumping off the porch 8 and 9, stealing, finding my way, being bad. You know what I mean? And life, just everything. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you born in 80, I'm born in 82.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? We maneuvering through this new millennium. You know what I mean? I remember us bringing the millennium in incarcerated.
Yeah.
As teenagers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So coming into this new millennium, of course, it's safe to say you came up through the Reagan era, the Bush era, the Clinton era. What was that like?
Times.
Yeah, absolutely. What was that like? You know what I mean? For you, as far as cultural influences, hip hop, jazz, R&B, soul, old school. What was that like for you? You know what I mean? And what were some of the influences what were the things that influenced you? You know what I mean?
Well, I grew up in a heavily musically influenced oriented, like family, like music, even in the worst of times in life, I can recall certain times, like we wasn't having water in our home. Mm-hmm. We was going to other people, like even in those times, it was the music that was the glue.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? The music was the feeling that, it was the hope, whether it was Marvin Gaye or Nita Baker, you know what I mean? Like Michael Jackson, whatever it was. That was kind of like the conduit to us finding solace in the midst of the, suffering we was going through. So music was always like a conduit. It was a learning tool, and, I can go on and on about
Absolutely.
once we got in the system as kids and what music did for us, like just listening to Jay and different people that, gave us nourishment, and what I mean? As we was evolving and growing up, that was important. It was vital to our upbringing, music, because we listened to certain people and we learned the do's and don'ts early. For me, musically, that's how I embraced music early. Listening to Pocket 91, hearing him talk about certain principles, how to stick with your partners, how to be a real brother, you know what I mean? Like, so that's what music meant for me, like, you know what I mean? And like, the lessons, the teachings.
So if you could pick one song for like your theme song for your life at that particular era and time, what would it be?
What particular era?
I want to say the late 80s, early 90s.
From 86 to 95?
Yeah, let's roll. That's a broad spectrum though. Let's say from...
It is. Those important years for me,
from 86 to 92.
86 to 92? I don't know if that's a defining time for me. I don't know if it could be because
that's a decade.
86 I was 6, 92 I was 12. It's hard for me to have a measuring stick because 92 is when I really jumped off the porch.
So let's say from 92 to 95.
From 92, that's when I got my identity now. Now I'm catching cases at 12, and it's a different life, it's a different swing. So if I had to pick one song from 92 to 95 in that area, in that time frame, because that's when my life was really starting to shift, you know what I mean? Like
fork in the road.
Not coming home. I think I know everything. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm going in them bag, taking, you know what I mean, finding my own way. So from 92, 95, and it's funny because it came out in late 94, it had to be Tupac, Me Against the World for me and my life, you know what I mean? The learning curves and transitions I was going through as an adolescent, it had to be Tupac, Me Against the World.
Oh, wow. Heavy.
Yeah.
Legendary. One of the dopest times ever. Pac was going through a lot at that time, and we got a chance to sit at the feet of the elder and really celebrate him as a voice for the hood, a voice for the voiceless, which made him a common person, a leader.
Spirit.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, the Santiago brand, it's nostalgic, although it's fly, everything comes back full circle. And I think the golden era will probably be those 90s when we saw that transition. Being an artist myself, you actually is the reason why I was able to tune my ear into different different influences, Southern influences, the Scarfaces. We would often listen to the West Coast, the E40s, the Southern 8-ball MJGs. With that being understood, like, you giving me that ear, man, like the mindset that you was in, you know, because of course that's what led to where you are and who you are, and of course your designs. Like, who would you say musically or sonically had a heavy influence on your ears at that time? Like, you know, that 95 era going into the system, and, you know, just all the way to the millennium.
I wish you well, how sick am I?
Baking soda, water, fire, merge the
Survive the drought, I wish you well, how sick am I?
Wet off the steps, purple rain in the
Survive the
drought.
drought, I wish you well, how sick am I?
Wet off the steps, purple rain in the drought.
Paranoid in a spot, crack smoke get me nauseous. You bite then you smoke, fiends devour a zombie. I'm nephew to him, respect is not an option. Treat him as a human, although I'm seeing the opposite. They help me clean my paper when buyers hit me with counterfeit. Magical how rocks can transfer to a Benjamin. Money is the motive and purpose for all my negligence. Competent to game result, it's not a pretty end. Stress got me fiending for pussy, hope it'll make amends. Nog stressing up like cuckers, looking to run me in. Idolizing Tony with ropes, rocking the top 10s.
Like I say, brother, I always love music, so I always lended my ear to it. You feel what I'm saying? I always had an ear for substance. No matter where it was coming from, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it was Tribe Called Quest, Big Daddy Kane, AZ, whoever it was from, you know. And like when me and you was together, and excuse me, I remember when me and you first met, and we started building. Like, you was heavy on what, brother?
East Coast,
there
Mobb Deep, Capone Noriega.
And then once we start building, and you start throwing my joints on, and I'm like, bro, like, you know, I opened you up to different substance. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
You know, like I was just saying in the interlude, like, we all come from the same story. Like, we all share the same struggles, and you know what I mean. We just tell the stories different kind of ways. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But you showed me early on, God, and I seen early on your willingness and your ability to listen. That was important early on. Like, that was an attribute and a characteristic that take us so far. And like, you was very inquisitive, and you listened, and you didn't listen, you knew how to apply it, man. And that was, you was doing that at 15, and it's still a part of your DNA. You know
Appreciate that, man. That's love. Okay, moving along to the Santiago brand, man, because I threw the drip on last week.
Did you, brother?
I had some heads turning. I had some some inboxes, some text messages. You know, Santiago brand. You know, what does that mean to you?
To me.
Absolutely, to you, being that you're the designer.
Fashion is a reflection of the person that's putting it on. You know, we dress the way we feel. You know what I mean? And to me, Santiago collection, it's a reflection of who I am. I'm reserved. I'm a thinker. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chest
I'm
plate.
fly. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm fly.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy you say that, because like, it's crazy how you could be incarcerated amongst thousands of people, and we all wear the same blue and orange. But what used to amaze me, and what gave me a sense of pride of myself at that age, was the way you would prepare yourself every morning. You would get up, you know, brush your teeth, you know, wash your face, get yourself groomed up, and even tuck your pants behind your tongue. You know what I mean?
Cleanliness, that's state of godliness, yes, sir.
Absolutely.
We used to say that way back before paid for, yes, sir.
Cleanliness,
Yeah.
godliness.
Yes, sir.
And with that being said, it's like, you know, you set yourself apart even then. So with this Santiago brand, what do you feel sets you apart from the other names that's, you know, that's already known or been established for years?
Who I am as a person, my perseverance, my persistence. You know what I mean? Understanding that as we go through these channels, shit go come with it. You know what I mean? It's gonna come with it, bro. Like, I learned that early. You know what I mean? Like, going through my trials and, you know what I mean, doing 12 years at 15, coming home at 27. It's gonna be okay. Just get through it. You know what I mean? Like, so that's my whole thing. Just be persistent. Just keep working. You know what I mean? That's who I am. Yeah.
And one of the qualities I like to acknowledge in you.
You know, that's what Santiago mean. You look it up, it mean a person that persevered through things.
Perseverance.
Yeah.
That's fly, man. One of the qualities I admired in you at such an early age, one of the keys to actually persevering is patience. You know, and to see yourself through, what is it, 12 years you served?
On my first bid.
On the first bid, you know. To see yourself through 12 years, that's monumental within itself. A lot of people can't see themselves through 12 seconds, let alone 12 minutes, 12 days,
There was moments
12
I
weeks.
couldn't. I'm human, you know. There was moments I couldn't see my way through, but I kept God as my, you know, as my focal point, as my center. You know what I mean? You know how I used to be in them teachings and Chinese philosophy, art of war, sitting in the cell, scheming, going out there, executing on the population. For real, you know. But that became a part of my upbringing, bro. Reading and 48 Laws and the Art of War, just life, and you know what I mean, and God and spirituality, bro. That was my, you know. So no matter what was going on around us, man, like, you know, it was times, man, like, you know, not the name drop, salute to the brothers, because I, you know, Grand Rapids, but you know, we was at war with them back then, from when they did that to, you know what I mean? So in the midst of all that, no matter what was going on, man, at the end of the night, I knew that, like, I knew I had a lot of years before I would be released, but once they closed them doors, them books was my solace. You know what I mean? Like, that was my one-on-one, that was my therapy, my education, and you know what I mean? So, yeah, them books was important for me. Yeah.
I'm gonna thank you right now, you know, because I like to give people their flowers, being that it's been so many years, and I remember you telling me that, you know what I mean, and you were one of the reasons why I got my GED at 17. That inspiration, those
I never
talks.
forgot that. That made me feel good too, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You came and told me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That was important. That was important mark in my life. That set it was a milestone for me. You know what I mean? To be able to,
as a young man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And not really, we didn't have a lot of programs available to us, a lot of things that could advance us in life. But I remember
at our disposal.
Yeah. It was a time we were talking and you was like, man, that GED is important. And I remember, man, it used to be sharpening pencils, man. Going over there, man, you would take your books, and it was just like it was some special moments, man. Like,
I appreciate that.
That time in my life was like the best of the worst of times, because I met so many teachers. You know, God was using so many people to
He was like a mold clay.
Yeah.
We all were. We was like mold clay, evolving as we, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
taking shape and form.
Yeah. Beautiful times, man.
And we both shared those experiences at low places in our life. I mean, we made the best of what we had, but man, we was adolescents, man, in the system to where, like, I seen a lot of things that you had to deal with.
Toast to that.
Man.
Toast to that.
No doubt, my brother.
Salute.
Salute. Salutation.
Salute.
Salute.
Salute. Trapavelli.
Me as well.
Breath of the streets. Yeah, so now, you know, we segue, we in the fourth quarter of the year. We've been turning up this year. This year done been lit.
Working hard.
I done saw you with Boosie. I done saw you entering in and out of different cities. I've been seeing people all over Facebook, Instagram, the social sites, you know, influencing, stepping into the well. Like I said, when I stepped into it, it was personal for me. You know what I mean? I felt like, you know, I'm Santiago. You know what I mean? Like,
supposed to feel that way.
Absolutely.
You one that persevered.
Absolutely.
You one that exemplified leadership.
No doubt.
Craig Santiago.
No doubt.
P. Santiago.
Yeah.
However we want to do it. Yeah.
Womack Santiago, Trap
it's in the
Santiago.
DNA. There's something that's inside of you. It's not the clothes that we wearing. It's not the fabric. It's what's stained inside of you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it just come out. It just come out. It's a manifestation. We just wear it on the outer surface, but it's really inside of us.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
Saluting, man. I appreciate that.
Appreciate you, brother.
We stepping into this new millennium. What you got coming? What's lined up? What you looking at for the 2022, man? Because I'm feeling it now, and I know you a thinker. I know you got the ability to look at least 12 years into the future, at minimum.
A lot of great things. First and foremost, we working on something like it's like a committee. It's like a black financial group. To where we managing our money and we investing amongst ourselves, real estate, stores, gas stations, accountants. Man, we working on a lot of things, man. Absolutely. Entertainment companies, Santiago Music and Management Group. Of course, we smashing with the clothes. You know, I'm trying to be everywhere.
Crushing.
How many states in America?
Man, 50.
Trying to touch them.
Absolutely.
52, something like that.
Yeah. Absolutely. 48.
Yeah, with Puerto Rico.
You know,
yeah.
Then you say Puerto Rico, we adding them too. Yeah.
Yeah, we trying to touch everything. Yeah, and I believe it. I'm speaking into existence, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's that power of the tongue. You know what I mean? The mouth
definitely
speak.
Moving with humility though, and staying humble. You know what I mean? Through it all. You know, I understand better than anybody. It can change like that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But the key, and what I like that you elaborated on early, was perseverance. See, even within changes, you can't stop what God has for you. And being that you so in tune and able to adapt like water, if you will, you know what I mean? I'm confident in the brand, and I stand behind the brand because I feel like it represents the integrity of the people. You know what I mean? It's not a lot of things that come from integrity or come from us as black men, you know, and even being a father, how is that, you know, having a couple seeds? What you got now? One,
I got
two? Okay.
Yeah, I got 2 daughters.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 13 and 3. It's like one of my biggest that's like one of my biggest challenges as a man right now. Like, I mean, it comes effortlessly because I love them, and when you do things out of pure love, it's organic, it's natural. But it's my time that I wrestle with as a man, trying to balance out being consistent, like being a hard worker, you know what I mean? Giving them the proper nourishment that they need and the time, and you know what I mean? I'm just trying to find that balance, and you know what I mean?
So how do you, I mean, I got 2 daughters myself. I got 2 sons and 2 daughters. So I kind of, at the moment.
You got 4 seeds, P?
Yeah, I got 4.
Yeah.
I got 4 seeds, and this.
What's your oldest, my brother?
My oldest is 18, my son. I got a 16-year-old daughter, and I got 2 10-year-olds. One to be 11 in January, and the other one to be
What you got, my brother? 2 boys and 2 girls?
Yep.
Yeah, that's how you did it, huh?
Yeah, I was blessed.
I tried. Yeah,
I need that balance.
Yeah, they say kings make little girls, make princesses, though. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and raising a team in today's complexion of society.
Proud of you, brother. Yeah.
That's powerful, man.
I don't get a chance to see glimpses of all of them, but I have, since we've been Facebook friends over the years. I seen the job that you have done with your oldest, you know what I mean? And I commend you for that, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's humbling.
It take a lot to raise a king, and you know what I mean, in today's society, man.
Absolutely.
You know.
So do you plan on having any more?
Oh no, man. Papa was a Rolling Stone, man. He laid his head was his home, my baby. No, I'm just messing with you, bro. No, like I don't dispel the idea, bro. Like I love kids. At 41, I know I personally feel like I don't need to be having, but I'm single. But if I found that right one that I can take steps with and share life with, and I know we was gonna be together, I would love to have a child with her.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's a blessing, man. Children are definitely a blessing, especially especially when you can invest, spend time. Of course, it costs money. So,
But my brother, with both of my situations, those were the expectations that I went to. You know, I was in relationships. They just weren't coincidental.
Oh, wow.
I was actually in relationships with my daughter's mothers. You know, and I had hopes and aspirations of, you know, taking them steps, and you know, we go be a family. You know,
well, being that you got children with these women, y'all family for life, anyways.
Yeah, forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, forever.
You know, always being there for your mother, your children's mother is very important. And
we got great relationships.
That's
it wasn't always that way, but we had to, you know, tweak and, you know what I mean, evolve and mature them as well as me. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we just a team now.
Man, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Raising these kids, man.
I love them.
Crazy.
I love them, man. Keep me going, you know.
Definitely. So, I mean, aside from, you know, being a father, influencer, clothing design, what are some of the things you enjoy doing in your downtime?
My downtime, I like chilling with my kids. Like for real, that's like my, you know, when I, you know, we covered a lot of ground, and I talked about when they sent me to Cali when I was in the feds, but when I caught that fed, you know, when me and you was together in 97, I ended up coming home in 2007. I was only home 2.5 years. I was home 6 months, and my baby, my oldest daughter was conceived, Destiny, and she was born in 2008. I got indicted 2009. One of my partners set me up with the feds. He put wires and cameras on. We was moving around one at a time, doing different things, and he ended up setting me up.
Wow.
He caught a case in the outskirts of a city I didn't know about, and he ended up working with the feds, and he turned me over. Thank God, you know, it could have been much worse for what I was into, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, but, you know,
Man, God sees
one of them situations. But to speed up what I'm saying, my daughter was 1.5 when I left. You know what I mean? So when I came home, she was 5. So I had missed 3.5 years of her life. You know what I mean? So that was like one of them things, like, it's levels of it. When you bump your head and you gotta go away, you know, you don't have kids and you don't have morals and certain social obligations out here, which was my case at 15. You know, when I went in, I was a kid. I didn't have no bills. I wasn't a father. So it was just me finding my way and evolving and staying true to course to who I was. You know, when I caught my Fed base, man, I got an empire in those 2 years, man. I got homes. I'm a father now. I got things in people's possessions, you know what I mean? I got things to lose. So when I end up leaving, I done left my daughter, she's 1.5. You know, I left society with things in different places, you know what I mean? Loose relationships, you know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
Loyalty can run thin, man, when we talking about money and greed, you know? Lost everything on that Fed bid, my brother. Everything. 20,000 over here. 40 grand over here, people I trusted, houses over here, nobody paid taxes, you know, but we go through our channels, you know, it's a part of, you know, it's a part of the mold, it's a part of the shape, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But more than anything was that time that I missed out my daughter's life, so, you know, I made a promise, man, like when you come home, man, like always make that the focal point of your, so when I start chasing this and, you know, it's been a journey, bro. Like, you know, it's been a journey. You know, when I came home in 2013, brother, they gave me 5 years probation, supervised, like
they was on your head.
On me every 2 weeks. Like, you know, so I had to think it through and get up in there and, you know what I mean, still be who I was and, you know, stay out them people way and, you know what I mean? Slow
it down.
And yeah, definitely, you know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. But I always made it, you know, a promise that, you know, no matter how life moving for me, man, make them a priority. So, you know, now that I'm in different states and moving and not being able to give them that time, and I'll be like, man, like, you gotta find better balance, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah.
It's definitely a challenge. Just being a grinder and trying to recover, you know, to position yourself to be able to be a provider, if you will. You know, I feel as though
that's a challenge within itself. Yeah. As a black man.
Oh, come on, man.
Running into a brick wall, trying to have the intellectual property to do things the right way, the will and the grit to not break laws, and especially where we come from, man.
Yeah.
That shit easy, bro.
Scum,
we know how to get it easy, bro. You know what I mean? So to, man, walk away from certain things, man, to do things the right way for the betterment of your seeds, man, and being out here and being morally and socially responsible, bro. That take a lot of courage, bro.
Come on, man.
I walked away. Only if they do.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely, man.
So when I say I stepped out on faith to embrace this fashion thing, bro, like, you know, I walked away from things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For that betterment, though.
Yeah, this Santiago, man, it's just crazy, man. I look back because I remember you as a seed in your seed stage and being there and being a part of that and seeing where you are today has just been such a blessing. You know, it's because a lot of people don't carry out things that they discuss while being away, you know what I mean? And then when they come home, you know, it's very difficult.
They express it in different ways.
Yeah.
Some be bitter. You know what I mean? Some don't know how to let go, forgive. See, because the thing about that, it affects us all.
Yeah.
It's just, it affects us in different ways. No man come out of a condition like
Cartier, I need a partner. We need to be a team. You need me, I need you. We need each other. How we make this work?
Baby, I'm trying to travel. I wanna see the globe. Make it Jamaica, Japan, plus the Mexicans. Hawaii, Brazil, sit low on the hills. Pay off some bills, spoil my kids and spill dollars on them. I notice that you listen, you really pique my interest. I have a proposition, I need someone committed. If you're able and willing, let's formulate a system to elevate our living, implementing your wisdom. Shamaria and Bobby, Yummy and Maserati. Love extraordinary, Jews and Kiyosaki. Securing economics, buy up a couple houses. Get it and whip and ride, multiplying mileage. Look in my eyes, no lies. Tell me if you bout it. We can lay a foundation, get ourselves grounded. You can handle that, right? I can handle this. We going hammer right now. We too legit to quit. In the hills, nice whip sitting on.
it affects us all, bro.
Yeah, I had to take them off and get, because this personal.
Yeah, no doubt,
and them
bro.
words resonate with my soul as a person who was
I'm gonna take mine off with you. You know what it do?
Yeah,
for real.
It does.
It affects us, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it can set you back many years, man. But what I can say is it has preserved us. I could see you anywhere and identify you. They gonna take all that. Yeah,
I ain't fell off.
No, it's like fine wine, like class, man.
That's real though, bro.
And that's the integrity behind the whole Santiago brand. You know, I definitely I find myself in that space of I just want to be timeless, man. You know, we all have an outdate. We born with one, but being here and being an influencer in the space that we come up in and still be able to be fly, vibrant, you know, being able to hold the attention of people, man, that's important, man. And this brand, that's what it is.
I respect that, brother.
That's what it is.
I respect that.
So I felt like today was important to be able to elaborate on who you are and celebrate you, because it's a lot of unsung stories and stories is untold that I think that from the bottom, because of course as Black people we've been influencing the world from the bottom for years, you know, and being that you're a part of that influence.
Yeah, we the trailblazers.
Come on now.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah.
From art to fashion, you know.
Absolutely.
Thought provokers.
Yeah. Power.
We are the wave, yeah.
Yeah. Constantly.
Yeah, no doubt, bro.
And this wave is timeless, you know, so I'm looking forward to what's to come and where the brand is going.
I'm proud of you, my brother.
Absolutely,
yeah,
likewise.
Yeah, you know you got my support in all your endeavors in life, you know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
Moving forward, yeah, I'm standing beside you, my brother. Yeah.
Breath for the streets.
And I'm happy we reconnected. Yeah, breath for the streets, my
Absolutely.
brother. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
So you got on the flyware. I see the Santiago logo, man. Icy, you know what I mean? You got the Clue on. Speaking of Clue, you know. Clue!
Yeah.
The Clue,
man.
I gotta bring that out because that's what people don't know is that's the backstory to the Santiago. That's the backstory.
Clue couldn't let up.
Never.
Couldn't let up. You can't never let up. You know, and you know, not saying in closing, but if I had to say anything to the youth that's watching this, anybody that's inspired by my movement or my momentum, it's don't quit. I don't care what you're going through in life. Just keep going. Just work through it. You know what I mean? Time has its own way of strengthening us, perfecting us. You know, we don't have to be the best at what we doing. You know, we don't have to be the smartest. You know what I mean? Just keep working. Just stay with it and be persistent. Just be consistent.
Persevere.
It'll catch. Yeah, it'll catch. Hell yeah.
Santiago
Definitely,
your way through.
Yeah,
you understand?
no. Yeah, Santiago way. Yeah, no doubt,
Santiago way.
Yeah.
Ooh, was that something to come Santiago way?
Santiago Prestige.
Oh.
Santiago Prestige.
Yeah, that the balloon fly, man.
But I'm definitely proud of you, my brother, and I'm happy we got a chance to reconnect, man, and you know, had this building session, man. It was important for the culture.
Absolutely.
You know, and you definitely got my blessings, my brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah, moving forward, but whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Love, wrong. Some love, brother.
No doubt.